So here's the problem. I have my GoPro 8. And it's the same problem you would have with a GoPro 9. And it comes down to the simple fact that this is how I want to mount the camera on my Pro 3 iSteady gimbal. And this is how I want to mount it. I want to have the lens straight over the axis of the gimbal. I want to have access to this door right here, which has all this really handy stuff. There it is. All right, so I have access to this handy door on the side. I have my battery. I can get at the SD card. I can get at the USB port, all without taking it out of the mount, which is great. That's exactly how I want to mount it. Except it leaves me with one problem, which is that on this end, this is where the power button is. And you can sort of get around it. You could power it up, run power external from, through the USB port, and you could kind of live without getting access to the power port. But it's kind of a pain. And so the question is, how do I get at that port? Or how do I get at this button? How do I get at this button right here? And so, the idea would be, okay, I got to take it out of the mount, unscrew all these things, pull it out, turn it on, slide it in. Well, that's not going to work. That's not going to work. But it turns out there's a little bit of play here. And you can just squeeze this out a little bit, get a 1/4 inch of space, temporary space, and take a comb or some sort of plastic piece. In this case, this is a case for the SD card. And you can kind of feel around. You can feel the rubbery button. It's plasticky right here, but you can feel kind of the rubbery button. It's really hard to see the button. Let me get a flashlight, and you can kind of see where it is. It's kind of buried down in there. And between having a sense for where the button is, and you can also feel with the corner of the plastic where it is, and you just reach in and press the button. And there you go. So, okay, it's a little bit of a pain, but it's way less of a pain than taking the camera out of the mount and turning it on or running it upside down, and now you don't have access to the door. So it's just a quick video to show you how you can do that. Now, I'm recommending a plastic piece to do the work. Don't use a screwdriver. Don't use a metal, nail file or your pocket knife or something. Use something that won't cut the rubber. And the other thing is that when you go to turn off the camera, you got to do the same thing. Okay, when you're filming, now what you want to do is after you turned it on, you want to push this closed so it seats up against the side of the gimbal right here and squares everything up. And when it's time to turn the camera off, you pull it out again. You get in there, and now there's a problem, is that you might just switch the mode rather than turning it off. Yeah, I just changed the mode with one beep, which means that now you've got an issue. Now I turned it off, fine. But when I turn it on, I'm not sure what mode it's going to come up in. So what I do is, let me turn it on again. Okay, it's just turned it on again. And what you can do is you can go into the settings, preferences, let's see, I think general, let me just see here. Default preset, yeah. I have it set to standard. If you set it to last used, then when you power it back up, if you've changed the mode, it'll be whatever it got changed to. But if you have it be standard, it'll come up in whatever your standard preset is. And you can see what that is. Okay, so you get out of the whole thing, and here's it says standard. All right, how do I make sure that it's what I want? All right, standard. Okay, here. You press the settings, and this is where you set what the standard would be. All right, and get out of that. Get out of that, and there we are. So now when I power it off, even if I accidentally hit the mode button, okay, I just changed the mode, and now it's in photo, and now I'm going to power it off. Okay, just powered it off. So the question will be, when I go to power it back on, what's the mode? And the mode is, here's the mode. It's back to standard. So as long as you set the power up mode to be the standard, and then you set the standard to what you want your power up mode to be, even if you accidentally change the mode as part of shutting the camera off, it'll come back up the next time in the correct mode. So that's it. Just thought you'd like to see one way around the problem. So now you can get at everything. You can get at the door, you can get at the power switch, and you can leave it in the mount. You can leave it in the mount, and that's really handy because you want to pull the battery, swap the battery, or get at things. You don't have to pull it out of the mount.